Yeah, but basically he puts on nights.
He puts on nights
yeah.
in Paradise, second Sunday of the month.
Yeah, man.
It's soft soul, actually too soft for me, but
Aww.
the sort of thing David Ayling would absolutely
and I mean, he does the occasional one up at the Tabernacle as well, which is brilliant, absolutely superb. With Smokey Joe, and I can't remember the name of the lovely young lady that he does those bits and bobs with. Anyway, yeah, man, David Hill, we did have on this show a few weeks ago, so listen back to, I can't remember.
He's got plans for the art scene in North Kent, so he's coming back in April to talk to us about that.
Good, brilliant.
We have live drum and bass at the Muse tomorrow night.
Yeah, man. This I'm looking forward to. G-Class, RJD, and the most amazing D-Check. All of which appear on Portobello Radio on a regular basis. Yeah, man.
And also
brilliant.
the Tavistock Festival. Anyway, that is here
Yeah.
at the Muse. Damien, how do you get in? Do you just knock on the door?
It's live stream.
It's a stream. Don't turn up at the Muse. Yeah. Please don't turn up at the Muse. It is mixcloud.com Muse Film. And of course, Muse Film is where you can watch us. Yeah. If you care to. We're there.
Yeah, hello. On YouTube.
The live stream, YouTube, Google Portobello Radio. We are up there.
Because it's the most recent Portobello Radio file. It will come up. Yeah, man.
We have two more things we should mention. You will remember that Anton Mierto was on the show recently talking about her thing, The Signs, which was the rather brilliant, not quite blue plaques all around the neighbourhood.
Lovely.
Which were signifying, really quite poignant personal memories.
Yeah.
And geolocating them. It was kind of psychogeography made real.
What's lovely from my perspective, this is being very selfish, is we interviewed them on a bus journey about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And then
they told us about it.
They told us about it and asked whether we wanted to get involved, to which we put forward a couple of suggestions. Then sort of within the next wee little while, they were finally putting the final pieces of the exhibition together, and we got to see the exhibition up here at the Muse Gallery. Then we got to interview Anton, which was just
all around the neighbourhood, because
that's what I was coming to. Is ultimately, now that the event has long gone, I'm still wandering around the area and being reminded of these terrific little sentiments that are glued to walls, are tied to railings. I mean, it's just fantastic. So if you're in the Notting Hill, Ladbroke Grove area, then check out these random blue plaques, and they say beautiful things like, a place where I held hands with someone I once loved, but not anymore. That kind of stuff. It's just great. Beautiful, little just nuggets, little windows on people's lives.
And at the last count, there were two outside the Tabernacle. Yeah. And if you want to check them out, why don't you come to the Tabernacle on the 25th when we're doing our next Saturday sessions live?
Oh, no way, man. That's going to be such a stonker. It's going to be such a good show. It really is.
Anyway,
it really is, man. Come down. See us in the flesh. It's always an absolute smasher.
Anton, and I think it's Elsha. It's an Irish name. I'm Irish, so I should be able to pronounce it properly. But Anton and Alva are doing a new project called The Unsaid. It's not till April 22nd and 23rd, which is St. George's Day. And it's going to be at the All Saints Church Hall. We're going to have them on the radio telling us exactly what it is, but the intriguing flyer has a piece of string on it. And last but not least, in this rather more extended than we thought, Wagwan episode, but there is, the Muse Theatre Company has come out of hibernation.
Oh, mate, this is going to be a smasher.
There's so much going on, we can hardly get into the Muse these days.
Absolutely.
But one of the things...
He's broken the golden rule. He's such a wicked
Louis,
child.
We're on the radio, mate.
Such a wicked child.
Give me a second. Joe Orton's Last Laugh. A lot of you will know who Joe Orton is. Someone who came to prominence in the 50s at the Royal Court.
Amazing.
A real iconoclast. Joe Orton's Last Laugh is a new play. It's coming up at the end of May. So, again, just clock that. You don't have to do anything right now.
Brilliant. Absolutely
it's St. Patrick's
brilliant.
Day. It's International Women's Month. We got to have Sinead, surely.
Yeah.
It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away. since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whomever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant, but nothing, I said nothing can take away these blues, 'cause nothing compares to you. It's been so lonely without you here, like a bird without a song. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong? I can put my arms around every boy I see. They only remind me of you. I went to the doctor and guess what he told me? Guess what he told me? He said, girl, you better try to have fun no matter what you do. But he's a fool, 'cause nothing compares to you. All the flowers that you planted, mama, in the backyard, all died when you went away. I know that living with your baby was sometimes hard, but I'm willing to give it another try. Nothing compares to you. Nothing compares to you. Nothing compares to you.
Yeah, that is Sinead O'Connor. Stephen, are you going to take it again? All right, that is Sinead O'Connor. Nothing compares to you. And talking of nothing compares to you, we got Louis. Louis is here. Louis Damiano from Nottingdale Pizza.
Amazing.
We had actually asked him to come in and surprise Roz and Shay with the St. Patrick's Day pizza. But they're late.
Pizza.
I'm afraid to say that the Irish are late.
Oh, look at that. Amazing.
Look at that. Louis, welcome to the show. How are you, man?
Hello, Piers. Hello, everybody on the Portobello radio.
Yay!
It's nice to see you. And
now,
surprise.
Surprise
Louis,
indeed.
you make the fantastic pizzas down there at the back of the Pig and Whistle. Your Nottingdale pizza, which you were the first one to use the name Nottingdale. Since you started using it, all those big companies have built buildings named after your pizza parlor.
Yes, that's true. We use Nottingdale pizza first time after the Second World War for the area. Nobody knew that is a Nottingdale except my godfather, Pierce. That's you. Actually, Pierce is the godfather of my pizza. That's
No
true.
way.
That's true. He mentioned the place Nottingdale, and I love it so much, so I put in Nottingdale.
Wicked.
14 years today. Today is our birthday.
No way.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because
Oi,
you
oi,
have
oi.
brought us your St. Patrick's Day pizza. Tell us about the St. Patrick's Day pizza.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something special for the people in Nottingdale.
Okay.
So I was looking at I was Googling and blah, 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 internet, and I found out that in Boston, today, and today only, every pizzeria in Boston, they're doing the corned beef, bacon, and cabbage pizza.
No way. Corned beef. Is
That's
this
true,
the
that's
official?
true. That is official.
So, I mean, you brought one of your
You
beautiful
can-
pizzas with you.
Yes, you can Google it. You can go on a website and
Yeah.
you'll see only in Nottingdale we have the St. Patrick's Pizza. That's how we call it.
Wow.
We're delighted to say that
It's
Ros
only one
and
change, only one change, only one
And-
change.
Ros and Shay here. Ros, we were hoping to surprise you
Oh
with
my
the St.
God.
Patrick's
Look,
Day
it's green,
pizza,
white and gold,
unfortunately the pizza arrived.
That's
This is
amazing.
Louis from Nottingdale Pizza.
Nice to meet you.
That's great.
Louis, tell us about your pizzas.
Yeah.
because
What's in
you-
it?
Its original recipe from America is corned beef, bacon, and cabbage.
Wow.
Brilliant.
But
Okay.
we don't like Americans. We done the English way. The corned beef, we change it with the proper beef.
Brilliant.
Oh, lovely.
The English beef, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
So
Fantastic.
it's beef,
Yeah.
bacon, and cabbage. We're using Savoy cabbage.
Yeah.
being
No
a little
way.
bit posh.
And it's only
Being
once a
English.
year, isn't it?
Only once a year, today and today only. So everybody who wants to try the pizza, Pig and Whistle, we are open till 10 o'clock tonight.
And the sun is
Right.
shining.
And the sun is shining. Yes.
So, and that is the best garden. So, Louis, thank you so much
Yeah, man.
That's great.
for bringing us the pizza.
amazing.
Thank
Welcome,
you so
Piers.
much for your pizzas for the last 14 years. My
Yeah.
family would have starved without them.
You know it. You know
That's
it.
true, that's true. Okay.
Oh.
And welcome to Ros.
Hi.
Yes, indeed. Ros and Cher in the
Yeah,
room, which is
yeah.
fantastic as well. It's live.
Fantastic.
Our wonderful friends from the Irish Cultural Centre down there in Hammersmith to help us celebrate and probably help us eat this bloody enormous pizza.
Yeah, can't
Brilliant.
wait.
Ah,
It's
it's
fabulous.
mental. Absolutely,
Absolutely
mental. Thank
great.
you, Ros, for coming down. You are wonderful.
Anyway,
Yeah,
before we talk to Ros and Shay, we forgot to play a celebratory song on the actual 50th anniversary of Dark Side of the Moon. So here's another bluegrass version.
Oh,
It's
here we
Brain
go.
Damage.
Nice.
The lunatic is on the grass. The lunatic is on the grass. Remembering games, daisy chains and laughs. Got to keep the loonies on the path. The lunatic is in the hall. The lunatics are in my hall. The paper holds their folded faces to the floor. And every day the paperboard brings more. And if the dam breaks open many years too soon, and if there is no room upon the hill, and if your head explodes with dark forebodings too, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. Shine. door, throw away the key. There's someone in my head, but it's not me. And if the cloud bursts, thunder in your ear, you shout, no one seems to hear. And if the band you're in starts playing different tunes, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. Shine.
There you go. That was a bit tighter on the ending than we expected, but anyway.
Very nice.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Happy days.
Do you want to turn that down a bit? Yeah. We are so proud that we do a show every month with the Irish Cultural Centre, and I'm delighted to welcome my co-host, Ross Canlon,
lovely to be here again.
Hey,
Great, love
mental.
this place.
and Shay Mary
Yeah,
Doyle.
how are you doing? Top of the morning to you.
Producer in his spare time, he makes films. You can see those on loopline.com.
That'll do.
Yeah, Loot Line Films. Look it up. It's all over the place.
Guys, obviously you're here because every other Irish person is double booked today.
Absolutely, at least.
And most of them are drunk
least.
already.
Yeah.
We did a fantastic St. Patrick's Day show, which went out last night. If
It
you
was
want
good.
to hear it again,
It's
it'll be out on
extraordinary.
Sunday.
Sunday
So
12.
brilliant.
12 Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the show we do is it's about Irish culture in London.
Yeah.
And the Irish Cultural Centre, Hammersmith, is one of the important output posts of that. It's been a hell of a St. Patrick's week now.
It
down
has,
there.
yeah. And we had great fun making the show. It's just fantastic. I mean, we have the singer Pauline Wims who comes to our local session. It takes
Which is
us
on
right
even
home.
as we speak.
Yeah.
You know, the people
I
we've
know.
got fewer
Right
listeners
now.
today
Session
because
on at
they're
the
all at the
ICC.
ICC
It'll
live
be going
session.
on till 7, and then there's a big gig which is sold out tonight. But the session is
4 men
fantastic.
and a dog.
Really good.
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
And they're playing tomorrow night as well. I think there's a couple of tickets left.
Yeah,
for that.
there are 4 men and a dog, definitely.
Amazing. That's
Bright
gonna be
side
great.
of the road, you know, it's a fabulous show. We're so proud to do it with you. We did a St. Patrick's Day special. In that
Yeah.
show, we asked everyone what St. Patrick's Day means to them.
Yeah.
Shay, we didn't ask you.
Well,
What?
no, you didn't. I noticed that. Yeah, I don't know. To me, what is it? I mean, I grew up one of 12 children in Dublin, and it was Dublin was kind of a little bit grey back then, and Paddy's Day parades were the ones I went to. I always found them really quite miserable. It was usually floats for buttercrust bread or factories, and then Americans would walk down the Ancient Order of Barbarians just with scarves on them. But there was the nicest moment was really the girls with the twirly things.
With the twirly things.
Yeah, that was my favourite moment.
What do they call them? Minarets or something?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
you know.
It's
Baton thrower.
The batons,
Yeah.
yeah. But then, well, ironically, I mean, Paddy's Day became really enormous in America. It was more, I think it's enjoyed over the world because of emigration. I think emigration really made it a big popular day. The New York parade is the biggest, Boston. There's one in Russia. I don't know if there's one this year. But interestingly, though, a couple of years ago, I was in Dublin and I went, and it was the most enjoyable day because it was much more hip, and also because of the inward movement of migrants to Ireland,
Yeah.
you had lots of diversity
That's
in the
great.
parade and in the people who went along. And the new Irish, you want to call it, they love it. They really think it's a big day out. You can see them marching down to O'Connell Street for the big day. So from my time, I always thought it was a little bit miserable. But these days, it's more of a fun, more of a party,
Right.
more real for everybody.
Absolutely.
That reminds me, funny enough, because there's a show, a photographic show on
Yeah.
at the ICC at the moment,
Yeah,
isn't there?
it's
Yeah.
called I Am Irish. It's curated by Lorraine Maher, and it's all mixed race. It's images of all mixed race Irish people, Black Irish.
And this is
And
a
it's
show that's been
extraordinary.
round the world.
Yeah, there's been a version of it. She went to New York and photographed. She got a photographer to photograph Black Irish people in New York. She's done it all over Ireland, and she's brought this one. This is the London one, and we had a photographic day just a week and a half ago, where more Black Irish people were coming to the centre to get their photos taken. I mean,
Amazing.
the families were extraordinarily beautiful. I mean, the girls with the headscarves and, you know, the all Irish accents and things. It's quite fascinating.
Lovely.
The children were
and
absolutely
Lorraine was
stunning.
born in a town called Carrick.
Yeah.
And she was the only black person in the whole town. And when I grew up, I was telling people yesterday, when I grew up, the only black people in Dublin was Phil Lynott from Tin Lizzy and Paul McGrath, the footballer. So the landscape has changed, but also because of Irish people coming in to London and Birmingham and into marriage and all the rest.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you've got a very,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I mean-
I like, it was like the Commitments. At the time, it was considered to be, maybe it's a bad choice of a line, but in the Commitments, that when it was made, and they played soul music, as you may remember,
Yeah.
the band.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
they at one point they're saying, "We're the Black Irish."
Yeah, with the blacks. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
It's
of
a great
course,
line.
I mean, round here, actually, I'm not, even I aren't quite old enough, but we have memories of the signs in the windows
Oh,
that said no blacks,
yeah.
no dogs, no Irish.
Well,
No
I
Portobello
see,
radio.
and my mother took me. Yeah, my mother actually took me by the hand when I was about 6 in 1966 to show me one of those signs. She took me and my sister, and it was in a shop window.
But that is
Yeah.
quite shocking. I mean, I still find that idea, that sign, and
Yeah.
people have memories and experiences of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Really way over the top. It's
Yeah.
like as if Liz Truss and Priti Patel were, or the mirror images of them were in charge of
Yeah,
Britain
yeah,
at the time, you know.
it's-
But anyway, I
absolutely.
mean, what's great about London is one of the great diverse cultural cities in the world, and walking down Portobello Road, I mean, you love it. But yeah, probably out in the hinterlands in certain pockets, there is still a bit of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I asked somebody
In the countryside.
where would I go for holidays? Well, you could go there; it's really nice, but they don't like outsiders. You know, so you still have
Weird.
pockets of resistance
Yeah,
to
yeah.
change. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
time.
So Paddy, I think, is a universal dude. Everybody can like him. As a lot of people said, yes. He's not necessarily Irish. He actually isn't Irish anyway. He was. I think he was Welsh. He came over to
was
Ireland
Welsh,
as a
yeah.
And
slave.
spoke French.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
yeah, I know.
Absolutely
I
hilarious.
should do. Yeah.
Funny enough, I wanted to pick up on that because it's International Women's Month.
Yeah.
and
Again?
St. Patrick's.
Well, the whole month, believe it
St.
or not,
Patrick's
it's going to be
Day has
International
been
Women's Month.
joined in
Yes.
Ireland by St. Bridget's
St.
Day.
Bridget's
Yeah.
Day.
St.
There-
Bridget's quite interesting. St. Bridget, in some ways, represented the winter, the end of winter, and they used to bake potatoes on her day and then walk around the house 4 times.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And but the whole thing was that, ironically, it was England that made Irish people become Catholics. They imposed it on us. This is, yes, it's
Wow.
Yeah.
before Henry started
weird.
having 18 wives or whatever. So Ireland became a Catholic nation, but before that they were pagan.
Yeah, no, Bridget was a
And
pagan. yeah.
Bridget was their saint. So when they
became
tried to say,
Catholic.
no, you've got to change her, you've got to become a Christian, the Irish said no, because they wouldn't allow St. Bridget to be a saint. So they then said, okay, St. Bridget can be a saint, and then all the Irish converted. So you have, in essence, she's a pagan saint. She's the
Yeah.
only pagan
Yeah, she
saint.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
The only pagan saint. And that perfect intro to this for everyone who's going out tonight. This is Van Morrison.
Brilliant.
Can you brush your shoes? Stand before the mirror. And you comb your hair. You grab your coat and laugh. Wet streets trying to remember all the wild night breathers in your memory ever. And everything looks so complete when you're walking out on the street and the wind catches your feet, sends you flying, crying. Wild night is calling. All right. Wild night is calling. All the girls walk by dressed up for each other, and the boys do the boogie woogie on the corner of the street, and the people passing by staring wide wonder, and the inside jukebox goes out just like thunder, and everything looks so complete when you walk out on the street and the wind catches your feet, sends you flying, flying. Wild night is calling. All right. Wild night is calling. All right. Wild night is calling. Wild night is calling. Come on out and dance. Oh, come on out and make romance. Yes, indeed. Come on out and dance. Come on out, make romance. The wild night is calling. All right. The wild night is calling. Come on out and dance. Come on out and make romance. Come on out and dance, honey. Come on out and make romance.
Yes, that is Vince Powers' old mate, Van
Yes.
Morrison, with Wild Night. If you want to hear some stories about Van Morrison,
Yeah.
tune in on Sunday at midday
Oh, yeah,
to
it's a
Bright
great
Side of the Road. And Mick McDonough,
But his new
fabled
album-
journalist, promoter, and
Yeah.
kind of
Mick
fixer.
Music manager, yeah, he managed
his
that.
Van's new album I listened to last night. It's kind of based on the Skiffle years. It's the best album he's made in 10 years, if not. It's absolutely amazing. We've got to play a track.
Yeah,
in the
every
next
track
show.
is brilliant.
Really something else.
Yeah,
Yeah, Van Morrison, once of this very parish.
absolutely.
Anyway, we've had Shay's take on St. Patrick's Day. Rose, how's what's it mean to you, St. Patrick's Day?
Well, St. Patrick's Day brings back so many memories, actually, from my childhood, because on that day, the record player would be brought out
Oh,
and the records would be put on all day. Irish music, Cayley music, the Furies, all these great artists that my dad had in his pile of LPs.
Sweet 16.
And Sweet 16, one of my favourite songs, one of my dad's favourite songs. So
again, it's on.
It brings-
it's on
yeah.
Bright Side of the Road on Sunday.
So it brings back genuine memories, lovely memories.
Roz forgot to tell you yesterday about Fury.
Yeah, Finbar Furies,
when he did a
a friend
concert.
of mine. He came and played the ICC quite a few times. And one day, I put him on at the Riverside as part of the Celtic Heart Festival, which I curated. And he dedicated Sweet 16 to me. I don't know why Sweet 16, but it was my dad's favourite song, who's died many years ago. So it was a beautiful moment for me. So.
In the background, I was trying to ask Greg if he can find that. Yeah, he's got it. Great.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So we're going to run. Yeah, it was on the show last week. So, and one of the things I asked everyone on the show on the other day, last night, St. Patrick's Day, you know, it's a proper Irish celebration. It originated in some of the diasporas, particularly in America, as a way of celebrating your homeland having been, you know, forced out by one thing or another.
Yeah.
And now it's, I used the word hijacked, I was slightly shouted down, but everyone wants a piece of St. Patrick. Is it just because they want to have 12 pints of Guinness?
I think it changed really when Riverdance happened and everybody wanted to be Irish. It was really trendy to be
Flattery
Irish.
chap again.
So I think, you know, I think that's when something really changed, and then you had the parade.
Yeah.
That
When
came
was
after
was that early
Riverdance.
90s
It was,
Riverdance?
it was about 95, 96.
Right.
They
Yeah.
used to rehearse at the ICC, all the dancers.
Oh, brilliant.
And we had them
Brilliant.
in dance, you know, all the different nationalities were in the show. We're rehearsing there. So
And it's still on in probably 25 places,
I think
even
everyone,
as we speak.
Yeah, man.
everyone suddenly wanted to be Irish, and Riverdance had such an impact. And then suddenly, the St. Patrick's Days got bigger and bigger, and not just for the Irish, but for everybody. I think that's what happened.
But I think it's interesting, like when Mick McDonough was talking yesterday about the concert, that Planksy's first concert in London, which was in Birmingham after the Birmingham bombing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
and
very
they thought-
close
And they
afterwards.
thought, well, very constant. No, they didn't. You know, so this who I Am Irish, like that exhibition, it's all very hard to pin down. Like I
Yeah.
remember when somebody told me in London when bombs went off, the first thing they used to do was run to the supermarket and buy a pound of Irish butter. To kind of
Yeah,
calm themselves
actually,
because they were
that's
afraid of
true.
a backlash,
They'd
and the
buy-
backlash never came. But you know that feeling of, you know, will they turn us? And I used to live in Kilburn actually, the big bars there, and I remember going to watch a football match around Paddy's Day, but the priests were there in large numbers,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and it was kind of like, oh, the Irish are here in large numbers, you better keep tabs on them. And but nothing happened, of course.
Yeah.
It's always like a perception, but I think that Paddy's Day, I don't think it's that big in London. Is it big in London? I didn't see much shamrock. There was no shamrock on Portobello Road this morning.
No,
No,
well,
Yeah, I mean,
seen
that's the
people
point
wearing
I'm
green.
trying to make in a way. I know I'm going to go and play in the West End later on tonight, and when I come out at 1 o'clock, I'm fully expecting the place to be devastated with
green.
people in those weird polystyrene hats.
I know.
Whatever they're
But
made
they're all
of.
from Sheffield, yeah.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
people were wearing
I don't
them at the
know,
weekend.
yeah, but
And one of the things we talk about a lot, we talk about Irish culture in London. There is a diaspora thing, isn't it? We just said Paddy's Day kind of started in New York.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
talk a lot about the fact the concept of Irish trad sessions in a
Yes.
pub kind of happened in
London.
London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Irish history is very much one of emigration.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there are more
My-
Irish abroad
yeah.
than there are in Ireland.
My auntie, she wasn't my real auntie, Auntie Susan, but she was the auntie of the Irish community in West London. Everyone called her Auntie Susan. She was my mother's best
Not
friend.
unlike Caribbeans.
yeah, and
Call,
Yeah.
call
anyone,
some
Yeah.
big man uncle.
I know, and anyone coming to London, West London, would seek Auntie Susan Gallagher. She died a few years ago at the age of 102, I
28.
think.
Wow.
No, 102. She was a phenomenal woman. She would find everyone somewhere to live. She'd find people places to live. She'd get them what they called the start in work, get them a job. And people just circulated around her for decades afterwards with so much respect. She was the matriarch of the community, and she was the key. And the Irish stuck together. And I know for a fact, you know, the Irish, majority, 99.99% of the Irish, are totally ashamed when those bombs went off. They felt they had to keep their head down and keep quiet. And St. Patrick's during the 70s and 80s, St. Patrick's Days, the Irish stuck together because they had this feeling that they couldn't proudly raise their heads because of what had been going on. They felt total
Yeah.
shame. They didn't agree with it. It's just awful. So
Yeah, but again, I
Yeah.
think London, and I'm only talking about London, when I lived here and those things were going on,
Yeah.
there was never a backlash. The place is big enough to know that it is an isolated IRA campaign, a bloody campaign, a horrible campaign. But it's interesting, I had my shamrock on today. But on the train I saw a lady and she had British shamrock, and it was kind of a wink. Oh, you don't. It's kind of a way of knowing
like,
who you are.
like a secret society.
That-
It's funny. I mean,
That's a bit of shamrock for you, Piers.
oh wow.
We've
the
brought
big
you some
shamrock for-
shamrock.
Oh,
Young,
how sweet! Look at
young-
that.
younger
Look at that.
listeners won't remember, but I mean, bombs going off.
Is that one for me?
Was,
Yay!
was,
Share it.
Wicked.
it was a regular thing, and I remember that I used to go to Finch's on the Fulham Road. My mum wasn't that happy about that because it was said to be a hot spot for
Yeah.
Irish guys in berries.
Yes.
They were kind of quite in her mind's eye. They were quite existential. They all had berries and black
Yeah, yeah.
turtlenecks.
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
And I'm newly minted Irish. I'm proud to say my children have just become Irish.
Yeah.
It's the most brilliant thing.
Yeah.
Particularly in the
times.
wake of Brexit,
Yeah.
Irishness has a kind of cosmopolitan feel
Oh,
that
absolutely.
being British doesn't.
No, we're European.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's a hard one. It's a really hard one. I mean, Scottish people have an identity, don't they? They're kind of, and the Welsh. And I think in some way, you'd love to give a pill to every English citizen and they go to sleep and you hypnotise them and they wake up and they're really happy to be English, but also happy to have neighbours in Scotland and Wales and Ireland. Because England over time, probably through politics, has become, to me, and maybe I'm wrong, a bit more introverted, a bit like not mixing, not
why
mixing
can't
with the world.
things be like they used to be? When
Straight-laced is the
Yeah.
word, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
There's
There's tremendous fascination and respect, though, both ways. I mean, I flat shared when I was young in a flat with 3 English guys, and one of them was a lord, and they were just fascinated by my culture. They were totally fascinated. So
yeah, but it's only
there's
a short hop across the way. Have you ever been to Ireland? Like, no, never been there. Whatever.
Well,
But-
we advise
But
it.
what's that pub opposite the Lashmore Road tube station?
The Pig and Whistle?
No,
The station?
No,
the
it's a
garden
a
bar.
woman's
where we seen the
name,
rugby.
Oh, you mean Angie's? You mean...
yeah.
Yeah, that great bar. I went there. It's actually a mix of English and Irish people to watch a rugby
Caribbean.
game, and it was great.
Yeah, it was
In
good.
fact, ladies and gentlemen, that's before you guys go, we should remember because a year ago
Yeah.
Oh
tomorrow,
my God, yeah.
we were all in that boozer in
Watching.
Angie's with
Yes.
Niall
McDevitt,
McDevitt,
yeah, the poet, late poet.
local,
Yes.
a poet in residence
Yeah,
at the
beautiful
ICC,
man.
a beautiful man.
Watching Ireland play England.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
In
Ireland
that
won.
bar. And Ireland won.
Within a year, yeah.
It was a great day.
It was a great day. Anyway, rest in peace,
And,
Niall
Beautiful
McDevitt.
Niall.
What day is today?
It's Friday.
The 17th.
Oh, it's Friday. So Sunday Ireland are playing England.
No, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, mate.
The ICC is screening it, by the way. So
I hope so.
yeah.
Get
Well,
on
it's Sunday.
down.
It's
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah.
Saturday. It's Saturday.
It's tomorrow, yeah.
Saturday.
Cheltenham is on today, which is another big Irish English
Yeah.
friendly
And
fight
the
out.
Irish have spanked the
Yes.
English. Thanks for coming on, you
Oh yeah,
guys.
Great.
I have one thing to tell
Yeah.
you. I have one thing to tell you.
Yeah.
On Disney Channel today,
Okay.
there's a huge U2 documentary on with Letterman. He came
Oh,
up to
yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah.
And they're using my footage from
Yay,
1982.
that's on
the
tonight.
earliest footage ever of U2 playing live. So if
And they
anybody's
play it
watching,
on the roof of a community centre, is
yes,
that
in Sheriff Street, in the poorest part of town. So
Amazing.
it's
Wow.
so I got a few
Excellent.
bob from the Mr.
Yeah,
Letterman.
well done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
So anybody who
Brilliant.
watches that, look out for
Yeah.
U2 on the
Absolutely.
community hall roof.
We've got a Children's Day on Sunday, Irish St Patrick's Children's Day. So
Oh,
any
cool.
kids can come. It's
Yeah.
open to everybody. It starts
Ah.
at 1 o'clock, 1 till 3. It's craft, puppet making, storytelling, music.
They have to be fluent Irish speakers.
No, they don't. No. No. But anyway, bring your
Thank
kids
you
along.
so much.
And you, happy.
We
Paddy's
love doing
Day.
the show with you. Happy St.
And
Patrick's Day.
you're repeating your show on Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And then our show is on Bright
So
Side
if you're
of the Road,
listening on
12
Sunday
12
morning,
noon. Yeah.
just keep listening because
Yeah.
the Irish show's on in a minute.
Great.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Right side of the road. Greg, so you were going to play a song
Superb.
for Roz.
Yeah, man, the Furies. Is that the one?
Sweet
Thank
16.
you.
Shall we?
Yeah,
Shall we do
lovely.
that? Let's
Yeah.
do that. Here we go. The Furies,
amazing.
When You Were Sweet 16.
Wow.
Thank you both for coming down. Really looking forward to
Thank
the
you.
next Bright Side of the Road live from the Irish Cultural Centre. Coming up, obviously, in April.
April, yeah,
It's going to
well
be
done,
mental.
mate.
It's going to be so much fun, man. And this is quite a benchmark, the
And
one
the
that
one
we did
after
this week.
that is coming up in...
He's being facetious now. He's funny when he's like
Just
this.
to say that I know it's a long way away, but the poet, renowned poet
Martina Evans is coming on this
Yeah.
show soon.
And
And
then
also
in the show
Paul
after
Charles.
that,
Paul Charles is the next
You
show.
know Paul Charles?
Paul Charles is one of the greatest music promoters. He's just renowned internationally, globally.
Amazing.
He's got a biography coming out, so he's coming on the show.
Superb.
Great. Okay.
Absolutely superb. Thank you, guys.
Great,
Brilliant.
lovely, sweet
Absolutely
16.
brilliant.
Thank you, guys. Here's the Furies.
Yeah, man. Woohoo.
Oh, what?
When first I saw the love light in your eye, I thought the world held naught but joy for me. And even though we've drifted far apart, I never dreamed but what I dream of thee. I love you as I've never loved before. Since first I saw you on the village green. Come to me in my dreams of love alone. I love you as I loved you when you were sweet, when you were sweet, 16. I love you as I've never loved before. Since first I saw you on the village green. Come to me in my dreams of love alone. I love you as I loved you when you were sweet, when you were sweet, 16.
All right. That is the Furies Sweet 16.
Yeah,
and that
man.
is for anyone who is celebrating their 16th birthday or St. Patrick's Day.
Or St. Paddy's Day, yes, indeed.
We are, of course, here at the Muse live. It's filling up because there's a fantastic exhibition. We met the artist, Andrei Maria Bulkowski, last week. It's called An Alternate Life, and it's based on 7 sketchbooks.
Yeah.
He bought a few years back for £1 each.
Lovely.
And it's a rather beautiful exhibition. You can see the sketchbooks.
Yeah, man.
And you can see his extrapolations.
Absolutely. And you can listen to the full interview on last week's show.
Oh, can I get that on Mixcloud?
You can get that on Mixcloud. Yeah, man. Go to mixcloud.com and search up Portobello Radio, and it's probably one of the top 4 or 5 mixes that you see there on our stream. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Catch Andre, was that his name?
Andrei Maria Bulkowski.
Wow. What an
really
incredible
crazy,
guy. What an incredible guy.
Gentleman.
He's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Wicked. Absolutely wicked.
Anyway,
back to this week. Back to the room.
Back to where we are.
Yeah.
We're delighted to welcome Sukai Eccleston. Hello, Sukai.
Hello.
From Castle Dart.
Yeah.
Now, last time we met here, we were kind of half in lockdown and half out.
Yes, we were.
That was probably 2 years ago. Right now, you continue to do Castle Dart, and we'll talk about that in a second. But why we're really impressed is you are promoting a talk with Junior Tomlin, old friend of this show.
No way.
And it's on Monday week. Tell us about it.
Love it.
Yeah, thanks, Piers. Actually, Junior's also a very old friend.
Oh, he's been keeping you from us.
Believe it or not, we went to school together.
Ah, that old.
You don't
Blimey.
look old enough.
Thank you.
Blimey.
I wasn't quite sure whether or not to reveal that. But
Junior's younger than he looks, people.
and 2 guys even younger. But the show is called Drop the Needle, Art Listening Party. And it really is the conversion of art and music. And Junior Tomlin is the first guest. So we're hoping to turn this into a series of art talks. But we thought we'd start with Junior because his work is so amazing. You know, Junior's a conceptual digital artist.
He's the Salvador Dali
He's a
of
Salvador
rave.
Dali of rave.
Man.
And he's been around for a very long
Man.
time creating these far out, space-inspired, Afrofuturistic curations to blow our minds. So
Wow.
I'm really delighted to have him as the guest on the first show.
So it's on the 27th. You've done a lot of stuff digitally, online. Is this in real life or is this online?
Oh yeah, so this one is an in-person
In
event,
person.
as they say.
People can meet him.
People can meet him, absolutely. So it's a collaboration with the Brixton Brewery at the tap room. So Brixton Brewery, they have their own beer. So it's a nice intimate setting. So people can get up close and personal to Junior, as well as to the art. And here's some great music as well.
And how these talks going to work? We've had Junior on the show. I know that he's streamed live from here. Is he going to talk and play music? Or
Okay.
How's it going to work? Is he going to do
All
a kind
right.
of live radio show thing?
So I'm kind of describing this as desert island discs.
Right.
It's a kind of desert island
Why
disc
not? It's a brilliant
format. It's a brilliant format,
absolute
right?
brilliant format.
Okay. I don't- Maybe not everyone listens to Radio 4.
No.
But
We steal it all the time.
so it's kind of desert island disc, but it's about the art. So the idea is that Junior will be talking about his art and the music that has inspired his art. Also, the music that has inspired his artistic journey. But because, as you know, Junior, as we've just discussed, he created a lot of those flyers from the 80s and 90s. A lot of the music will probably center around the 80s, 90s dance culture, but the art that came from that period as well. So we're looking at the connection between the art and the music.
And Junior, of course, he features right now, if any of you have been down to the Saatchi Gallery, he's in the Beyond the Streets exhibition. He's part of Toby Mott's Cultural Traffic thing. Actually, I went down with Junior to the exhibition, and we got to the top floor, and there's a wall that Toby Mott has curated, and Junior just hung out by the wall and waited for someone to kind of point at one of his bits of work. And they said, "Oh, I did that." And I turned around and found him doing selfies with like half the Saatchi Gallery.
Oh, that's nice. Well, hopefully there'll be some selfies as well on our night. Yeah. But the idea for this drop the needle talk was inspired by, I don't know if you've ever been to any of these listening parties.
Oh, now I've heard about them. What are they?
So listening parties, I've been to a couple, and in the first format, they take a seminal album and they invite people, and people talk about what they were doing when this album came out and what the tracks mean to them and so on and so forth. And then the second one is where...
So like a book club?
It's a bit like a book
record
club. Like a record club, yeah. And the second one is where the music artist is releasing a new album. And so it's just to get it out there to an audience. And so I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to do that with art? Because as you know, art is not readily accessible to everyone.
No.
Or people don't think art is for them and they feel intimidated by art. But music is totally accessible, at least most music, right? Is accessible to most people, popular music. But art and music have got so many similarities, and we can find our own personal experience with the music or with the art. And so that's what I want people to really get, that the same kind of connections that they can have with music, they can have with art. And so they don't need to feel kind of scared, intimidated by it. They just need to come and feel. Just look.
Just come and look. We'll be back in a second. I'm just going to play Dinah Washington, Cry Me a River.
Told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, go on and cry me a river. I'd like to see you cry a river, 'cause I'm tired of crying over you.
Yeah, it's Cry Me a River by Dinah Washington, the Truth and Soul remix. We're here with Sukai Eccleston from Castle Dart. We just talked about Junior's show, and I forgot to ask you where it was.
Yeah, thank you. So it's at the Brixton Tap Room, which is the Arch, 548 Brixton Station Road. It's just
So it's quite near the station
very,
for those
very
of us
near the
coming
station.
from.
It's just like
to
a little walk.
Get out of the Victoria line.
Don't be scared, West Londoners. Head on down south of the river.
No, I mean, Brixton is, you know, you come out of the station And if I was going to be frank, I hope no one's listening, but you come out and it's like here, but actually a bit more so. There's more people.
More people.
You know, it's like coming out of Ladbroke Grove with the same number of people as Notting Hill Gate.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's true.
and it's fabulous. And you actually, if you're up there, go round the corner to Windrush Square, and you will find a concrete paper boat. And if you hit the QR code, you will hear 3 sound files from us of the experiences of Charlie Phillips, Sonny Blacks, and Lady V when they very first arrived in England in the late 50s
I didn't know that.
or the early 60s.
Oh, there you go. You can get your Portobello radio via your QR codes.
Yeah.
Love it.
We're all about QR codes.
And we're all about public places, public spaces, and
and
the
sounds
general-
of Latimer
and the
you'll be
general
hearing
community,
about
yeah.
till the end of time.
Yeah, man. Well done.
Castle Dart
Yeah.
is... Well, tell us what the
Okay.
concept behind it is.
So Castle Dart is a not-for-profit arts company, which I set up back in 2017. And the reason why I set it up was because I noticed that there was a lack of representation for black artists by commercial galleries and museums, and I wanted to do something about that. And so I started this business. So what I do is I host art exhibitions in temporary spaces for everyone to come and see and enjoy the art. And I also do talks and events like the one with Junior, because it's not just about showcasing art, it's also about talking about the art, having conversations about the art, and
engaging the hows and the whys
yeah,
and the
exactly,
wherefores.
and just engaging an audience. So as I said, we can start to demystify kind of notions about what contemporary black art is, and also just amplify black stories and experiences. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Because in many ways, art is all about context, and obviously, white art has got the context. You had the Renaissance, then you had this, then you had the post-impression, and it all fits in a scale. Now, obviously, black art also fits within that wider art history, but there hasn't been enough effort to put it in context within itself. People think, it begins and ends sometimes with Jean-Michel Basquiat.
That's true, and he was an important figure, and pretty good, even though at the time some people dismissed him. But he's the highest-selling contemporary artist, even though he's actually dead. However, you're absolutely right. I think the thing with contemporary black art or black art is that people tend to fix it in a particular category. So we're talking about black art, or we're talking about African art, but what does that mean? And you just talked about the Renaissance, you've talked about the post-impressionist, you've talked about surrealism.
Dada,
Exactly. So you can talk about any of those, right? But when we talk about black art, it's a
big lump.
It's a big lump. And then you find that black artists, they're doing all those things. They're working as abstract artists, they're working as figurative artists, they're working with paint, they're working with collage, they're sculptors, they're glass artists, the whole range. And they are influenced by some of the modern artists like Picasso, bringing it back, and people like Rembrandt as well, because a lot of these artists, they are classically trained as well, and so they're learning about the they're looking at the Western canon and drawing from that. So it does infuse or influence their practice, but at the same time they do draw on their own specific cultural influences or heritage. So black art or contemporary black art is really, really diverse. One of the objectives that I have is to bring that to people's attention. So they are constantly surprised when I showcase work. When I say this is by black artists, they're often quite surprised because they have very
preconceived notions.
Right, yeah.
Well, we shouldn't forget, of course,
Yeah.
Picasso was himself influenced by African art.
Yeah, he was.
And,
yeah.
it's like music. It bounces around. And we
Exactly.
should try not to pretend it only bounces around a small
One-
bit of
one-
Europe.
Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely, that's true.
Now, you've had an exhibition that's been running for a while
Yeah.
called Roots to
Roots to
Roots,
Roots, yeah.
with all interesting spellings. It's about to close.
Yeah, so we opened Roots to Roost in December, early December, and then it closed just before Christmas. But we always do a virtual online exhibition to complement the in-person or the physical exhibition. So for people who don't live in London, they can still see the works. And Roots to Roots was one of our, well, it's an exhibition that, as you said, it's an interesting spelling because it's a play on words. So we have ROOTS and ROUTES because we were exploring both cultural roots, what does that mean? And we're also exploring journeys and stories of migration and things like that in that exhibition. Yeah.
It's fabulous looking. You can check it out at Casildart, CASILDART.com. It closes on Sunday, which is Mother's Day.
Yeah, it is Mother's Day. So, if you want to get some art, check out our website because art's a great gift for, not just your mother, but as it is Mother's Day, it's a great gift to
I think
give
particularly for your mother in a way,
Yeah.
give back.
Yeah, give back. And you know what? They last longer than flowers, so hey.
Way longer. Thank you so much, Sukai.
Thank you.
Tell us one last time, Junior Tomlin, how do we see him in the flesh?
So Junior is appearing at the Brixton Tap Room, which is 548 The Arch, Brixton Station Road. And so what you need to do to book tickets is to go online to Eventbrite and search Drop the Needle Art Listening Party. And if you use promo code DROP20, you can get 20% off the ticket price. Woo!
You didn't actually hear it first, but you heard it quite early. Thank you so much. This is, we don't know if he did this particular cover, but we know that Junior worked a lot with Renegade Soundwave. So here is probably a robbery.
Thanks, Sukai.
I'm back to announce, put some style in my accounts, put your face in a trance, pull my fist from your mouth. I've got my feet on the throne, I'm gonna slap you a tone. We're going straight to the top, we've no reason to stop, because it's probably a robbery, a bit of skullduggery. Probably a robbery, a bit of skullduggery. Watch out, there's a thief about. He's picking locks and scaling walls, takes people for fools. If you want my advice, get it all above board. Just pop into Lloyd's and get yourself insured, because it's probably a robbery. The funniest thing, I just wanted to sing, but the notes wouldn't come my way. I was most distressed, where's the sense of dress? Balaclava's trigger happy, give me the rest. My character changed, I left the place in dread. The shooters on the counter, stockings over our head, because it's probably a robbery, a bit of skullduggery. When I got outside and looked to my dismay, 'cause the getaway car just sped away, probably a robbery. I heard alarm bells ringing, shouts to stay where you are. There wasn't time to blink, the flying squad moved in, threw me arms in the air, slung down the bag of tools. The worst thing about it, I just booked me cruise. I didn't want in, but committed the sin. Started as a tipper, but I married a stripper. At Her Majesty's pleasure, I'm here for the land.
That is Renegade Soundwave, one of the many artists that Junior Tomlin, our very own Afrocentric, he's an Afrocentric and Afrofuturist anyway, our very own. He will be giving a talk in Brixton on the 27th.
Superb. I'm looking forward to that.
Get on down there.
Yeah, man. Brilliant. Absolutely
Anyway,
brilliant.
unfortunately, Isis is still not with us. That might mean her dicky tummy
But
is
what-
dickier than was expected.
What with it being International Women's Month, and literally every guest has involved a beautiful young lady. So, and here we go. We're continuing the theme with
Well, we got
someone.
Moira
Exactly.
Samuels. Moira, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good, thank you.
So,
Wonderful.
you have no Irish roots. St Patrick's Day, does that mean
I
anything to you?
don't. Scottish, I'm afraid.
Oh.
That's why my name's Moira.
Ah,
Yes.
good.
My
Very, very
mother's
good
side.
indeed. Wonderful.
But yes, happy
And-
St Patrick's Day.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
thank
And
you.
there's nothing to be afraid of being Scottish, you know.
No, I'm very, very proud of my roots.
Good work. Brilliant.
Before we start, well done, because last week we had Zakir and Bashir in from Axilla City, and last
man.
time you were on the show,
Yeah.
you were still one of the elders, kind of keeping an eye on that, and
Guiding
it's
them
all worked
through.
so well. You've been able to move on and leave the kids to it.
Leave the youth to actually sit at the top table and make the decisions.
Right. Yeah, man.
Georgia.
So, what are you up to now that your project with the Maxilla City is run its course?
I've got so much else on. I'm still working paid work as part of the Grenfell Health and Wellbeing Service.
Brilliant.
In my role as a community connector,
Uh-huh.
trying to bring the health service into the community rather than expecting the community to go into the health service.
Yeah, good work.
Which they are doing. I mean, because of our project Sounds of Latimer, I've been in Baseline quite a lot, and people should know that if you pop down to Baseline, certainly on a Monday in the morning or in the afternoon, they do take an hour off for lunch. But if you pop down there, you can chat to people about whatever it is that
Health
might
and
be
well-being.
troubling you.
Yes, yes.
I mean, obviously, if you're really in trouble, go to A&E.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I love the idea of bringing the health service into the community. This sort of started over COVID, didn't it? Possibly even beforehand.
No,
actually,
I
maybe
think
it was.
it's health and well-being, so it's mental
okay.
health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that mental health is still so very much stigmatized.
Yeah.
And also there isn't a one-size-fits-all,
Yeah.
especially for our community. And I think the services had to work quite hard to think of a whole diverse range of therapeutic models to use that actually fits our community and that, that meets the cultural needs of our community.
Yeah.
Now, it's International Women's Month this month. One of the things we can be quite proud of in this neighbourhood, this community, is we're quite matriarchal, aren't we, in a way? An awful lot of things are powered by women.
They definitely are, and they're not always recognised. I think you could see that certainly after Grenfell. You could see the extent to which, because Grenfell impacted on areas, the home, housing, that actually directly affects women. And
But actually, it affects everyone, but women seem to be the ones left to deal with it.
well, often women are, as much as what we are in 2023, I think research shows that women still do most of the domestic organising and organising around childcare. So obviously around Grenfell that was very significant. But also in terms of leadership, I think there was an untapped resource there, both from the younger generation and the older generation, or if there's such a thing as an older generation of women, who actually took control and led and supported and managed projects, managed support.
Because they've been managing families and family finances and everything for young.
And led politically as well. And I think we've seen all of that. Well, we saw it through the Black Lives Matter movement. And we saw it through the Me Too. You know, all of those movements have actually demonstrated that women are very comfortable in the leadership.
When I mentioned we've agreed that women lead, when I use the word matriarchal, your eyes went up and down. Was that just a semantic thing, or do you feel that? I mean, we talk about matriarchal. We talk about a lot of ancient societies.
I think she was asking, what are you buttering me up for?
Yes. I don't know. I mean, I still think these, we know that that's what women do and we can point to that. But at the same time, we also have everything related to women where women experience more violence. They are more likely to be murdered in their own home. There's a huge pay gap still. We only have to look at the range of oppressions women face to know that, yes, women are very competent and very capable, but they also still at the sharp end of oppression.
Of course.
Yeah, we've been dealing with the equality laws for about, somebody pointed this out the other day, for about the last 50 years. That's when the first equality laws sort of came in. And from that point forward, we've been trying to get equal pay for both men and women.
That was indeed Monica Press on this very show last week.
Ah, well, there you go. Yes, indeed. Yeah, she did bring it up. She did. You're absolutely right. Yeah, man, that's exactly right. And yet now we're still in the same position. There's still a disparity between pay. And that's just one example of this. It's been going on for literally decades, this thing. Literally decades. And we're not really changing. We're telling people we're changing, but it's not actually happening. You know? That's the way I see it.
It's called institutional discrimination,
Yeah.
which intersects with the fact that if you are a woman of colour, you're likely to face it both because of your race and because of your gender.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Wow. So we've still got a long way to go. Still got a long
Lots
way to
of
go.
battles.
Yeah, lots of battles.
We've slightly drifted because you're a very wise woman, Moira. But
we like to glean as
Thank
much as we
you.
can.
You are actually here to talk about a specific event.
Yes. I'm here to speak about a demonstration that's taking place tomorrow called Resist Racism. It's been held every year internationally to coincide with the UN Anti-Racist Day.
Mm-hmm. Is that the 18th?
So yes, the 18th tomorrow. And it's in central London. People are gathering at the BBC, Portland Place, nearest
Brilliant.
tube, Oxford Circus at 12
Wonderful.
p.m.
And is it a march?
It's a march,
And
short
what-
march to Downing Street. We've got there's a range of fantastic speakers, from
Where are they going to speak?
at Downing Street.
Oh, right, in Whitehall there at the gate.
Yes.
So who's on?
Who isn't on? I'm trying to think of. I need to actually just check. I know
All right.
Diane Abbott speaking, Jeremy
Yeah.
Corbyn speaking, John McDonnell speaking, a range of other speakers who I'll just find and list for you in a
we'll
second.
give you a second.
Brilliant.
And
Brilliant.
obviously, it's supported by the Trades Union
Yes.
Congress, and it's initiated by Stand Up to Racism. That's quite an active organisation, isn't it? I mean, I always see where I live down by Latimer Road, actually around the corner from you, obviously. Is it you who puts all those posters up just in our way?
You couldn't
Wasn't
possibly
me,
say.
Gov.
Yeah, couldn't possibly say. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yes. So I think it's particularly important this march or this demonstration. There's one in Cardiff and there's one in Glasgow at the same time. And I think it's particularly important because we're living in quite a dangerous period.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the legislation that the Conservative government's put through, in particular the most recent nasty illegal migration bill, which means that
The Gary
refugees...
Lineker bill is...
the Gary Lineker bill, which means, that refugees are going to be left, just as they actually dismount, having survived a journey across the sea, be prosecuted or sent straight back. This is a particular low for this government, in that it does breach international...
It breaches almost every it's
international-
impractical, it's immoral, and it's illegal.
That's right. But also the dangerous thing is that it sends a very clear message to the far right. sends a message to the far right that it's okay. It's okay to go and stand outside hotels where refugees
in Liverpool or wherever,
and try and
Dover.
firebomb them. And I think that is a particularly dangerous period to be living in.
No,
for all of us.
It is pure dog whistle politics. There is the crazy thing about this is actually I read an analysis of it. The only reason the reason they put that bill up is they wanted Labour to vote against it, which obviously Labour had to because it's an immoral, impractical and illegal bill. And now they can go barking around with their dog whistles saying, oh, Labour voted against stopping the boats.
I know this may seem like it's all about electioneering and the next election, but I think on the ground, what does it mean? On the ground, it means that actually people feel unsafe.
People get hurt.
People get hurt. It just raises the whole climate of racism. And I think that the country hasn't been there since, the days of the anti-Nazi League. You have to actually confront fascists on the streets. And a lot of that's building up. When you've got people like Meloni in Italy, a fascist leader, when you've got the AfD in Germany saying this is a good bill, we're in trouble.
I have to say, from my point of view, you know what? If government officials, ministers, backbenchers stop using this inflammatory language, things would be less out of hand than they are right now.
Absolutely. A lot of racism is actually initiated by those in the top, not those on the streets or our neighbours, in our communities, because they can be challenged.
The last 12 years, our leaders, normally we lead from above. We lead from there. They've been rubbish at leading from above. They've been very self-centred, very
and you've got to remember
self-serving.
that
they're just
people
rubbish.
has for centuries been a means of control. It's St. Patrick's Day today. 100 years ago, 120 years ago, the Irish were being othered in London. And, we may pretend that we've assimilated everyone who came from the Windrush and who followed. But, the next wave, we're now othering Syrian people, Afghanistani people. We're othering Albanian people. And just to let you know, people, 50% of the people from Albania who came here were granted asylum, which meant their cases were said to be
legitimate.
It's just stop othering people.
95% of the people, the asylum seekers, actually are granted asylum.
Yeah.
So, and let's be honest, no human is illegal.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
The other thing is that we're letting literally millions of people in through the legal channels, and for some reason this has become a culture war about people who are so desperate they have to get into bed with these traffickers, risk their lives, pay all their savings to get in a boat that might sink. What the heck?
Oh, what? To come to this country, what? To try and access a health service that's on its knees.
Yeah, man.
A benefit system that actually
Doesn't
you
work.
can hardly survive on.
Yeah.
And if you come here as an asylum seeker or a refugee and you're granted, you're given somewhere to live, you literally are expected to live on £35 a week. You're not allowed to work. When we have such a crisis of skills, where our health service probably needs staff, so you could just have an immigration system that makes sense, that's logical, that's humane. But instead, this is all ideological. It's about trying to divide us in a time of economic crisis, where workers are striking. What are we going to do? We're going to get everybody to say it's all the fault of the refugees and the asylum seekers.
Oh, it was all the fault of Europe when we were in the European Union, which made us leave the European Union.
What?
In the end,
As Gary Lineker said, in the 30s in Germany, they started othering people, and we all know where that ended up.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and he's absolutely right.
Moira, thank you so much. Just remind us one more time where and when.
Okay, it's Resist Racism, Saturday the 18th of March, 12 noon. It's a national demonstration. We're assembling at Portland Place, London W1A.
W1A, 1AA.
1AA.
And you know that from watching Blue Peter. It's that
Yes.
very same address.
Yeah, innit?
Yes.
It's the BBC.
Supported by the TUC, and people are coming down from all over the country if they're not going to Cardiff or Glasgow.
And you've got some fantastic speakers there. It's going to be brilliant.
We
Absolutely
have.
brilliant.
I found my list.
Go on,
So,
far away, and then we'll have Nina
the
Simone.
list is incredibly long. So we've got some speakers that are going to start at 12:10 that include a child Q campaigner called Jacqueline Courtney. We've got Zita Holgren from Barak, Ulrika Schmidt from Amnesty Regional, somebody from Black Lives Matter, David Rosenberg, Jewish Socialist Groups.
The list goes on.
The list goes on and on. And in the afternoon, we've got people like Gary Young, Bal Rivera Addy, Kevin Courtney, the NEU General Secretary, Diane Abbott, Marcia Rigg from United Friends and Family, Michael Rosen. So
more.
incredible lineup,
Incredible.
which ends with Dean Pounder from the FBU Northeast region, who's
Great.
a local.
Thank you,
Lad.
Maura.
Amazing.
Thank you very much for having me.
Looking
A
forward to
pleasure.
it. You must come back and tell us how it went. Very, very good luck with everything. Absolutely everything. You take care of yourself, and thank you so much
you.
once again for coming on, bro.
say all the things that I should say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree
Yeah, that is Nina Simone. And that is the reflex revision of I Wish I Knew How It Feel to Be Free.
Amazing. Do you?
No, I mean, you know, one of the things about privilege is, relatively speaking, I think I've always felt free, though I'm sure psychologists would look at me and say, that man is trapped within his own delusions.
Probably. Or, yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. No, terrific song. Who did this mix? Because it's a bit unusual.
It's the Reflex.
It's
a
Reflex Society.
fantastic
You're quite
Reflex.
into them at the moment, aren't you? Get you.
The
Brilliant.
person who put me on to the Reflex, of course, is Chris Sullivan, the third man at Portobello Radio.
Yeah.
And he is on this evening at Lalo. I think there are about 10 tickets left.
Okay.
It's the WAG at Lalo.
Brilliant. That's what it is. That's what
So
it is.
it will be him and Christos.
Super. Absolutely superb. Chris has been up to quite a bit of late. I saw Philip Salon in the papers the other day because he's featuring...
Oh, he's doing it with Albert tonight.
Is he doing it with Albert? Yeah, you're right. He is doing it with Albert de Paname, the guy who brought Café de Paris to us back in the day. Absolutely brilliant. They're making a movie about the Blitz Club. Is that right? And Chris has been asked to DJ the rap party or something. It's something like that, anyway. Or maybe it's just a scene from the movie whereby Chris is involved.
No, I think there's an exhibition
is there?
of the Blitz photographs.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Yeah, try and do a bit of research, Craig.
No, I'm going all on conjecture and hearsay, so, I don't get time to do any kind of research at all. I'm too busy doing this stuff.
If you're into Portobello Radio and you're into Lalo, you'd also be interested to know that Carlos de la Cruz, Sonido Santo, he who used to run Santos, and in fact had Albert DJing downstairs, they do a salsa night at Lalo. They have a salsa teacher, they have a timbalero, they have Carlos's amazing music, which you can find
on our Mixcloud platform. Again, just look up Sonido Santo. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So no, that's superb, absolutely superb. A couple of our fantastic DJs come presenters doing little gigs and shenanigans around here over the coming weeks. Love it, absolutely love it. Brilliant. And I think you might be getting to see more of Chris Sullivan on this very platform. All will be revealed later. But yeah, he's getting deeply involved, which is great. Absolutely great.
The other big news, of course, I mean, we've hinted a little bit about Sounds of Latimer.
Yeah.
We've been a bit tied up with paperwork, which took way longer than we hoped.
Yeah, man.
But we can announce there will be a whole series of events in the Latimer area. That's basically around Latimer Road Tube Station on the weekend of 24th and 25th of June. There's going to be a soundscape curated by ourselves with, we hope, Amit Sharma.
Beautiful. Amazing.
They'll be on for 2 days, and there will be a whole festival of events going on around Lancaster West, Maxilla, across down to Frestonia.
Amazing.
On the
Absolutely
Silchester
amazing.
estate.
Yeah, man.
So watch out for more information about that.
Yeah. Coming from this very platform. It's going to be quite mad, that. It's going to be quite bonkers. Quite bonkers.
In other news, we've got an office.
Oh, that's out the bag, isn't it? Hey?
It's out the bag. On Monday, Portobello Radio moves into an office for the first time ever.
Yeah.
We're under the Westway. We're part of the creative hub in what used to be the old Citizens Advice, where the rock and roll library was.
Yeah. Portobello Business Centre was there for a little while. I mean, lots of different companies have occupied that very building.
Yeah.
But yes, indeed.
So we look forward. One of the most amazing things is we went in to look at the office when we'd agreed to take it, and the first person we saw was Victoria Grant, the milliner who used to be in South Kilburn Studios when we did the show from K to K.
Isn't that weird?
So we feel that is a good omen.
It's a really good omen, man. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Wow. We've just been illuminated. I like it. Remember, everyone, you can find us on YouTube right now, and indeed over the course of the following week by just searching up Portobello Radio. And at the moment, you're watching the live stream. This is us actually doing our thing in an art gallery on the Portobello Road, just outside the market, with passers-by ogling in. It's all
anyway,
quite
we're
mental.
talking too much because our last guest, Georgia Lupita, is running late. She's here as part of International Women's Month because she held down a full-time job while
Yeah.
doing a master's.
Yeah.
Which I certainly would never be able to
No,
do.
you know that. Not only is it a full-time job, it's a caring job, you know. So she's got a big
Caring.
heart, a really big heart, that girl. Brilliant. Looking forward to chatting to Georgie in the next little while.
Yeah, I am doing the Amy Winehouse biopic rap party tonight. So I've been researching Amy Winehouse. I found this fantastic Milo remix of Fuck Me Pumps.
Oh, good tune.
When you walk in the bar and you're dressed like a star, rocking your F me pumps, and the man notice you with your Gucci bag crew, can't tell who he's looking to, 'cause you all look the same, everyone knows your name, and that's your whole claim to fame. Never miss a night, 'cause your dream in life is to be a footballer's wife. You don't like players, that's what you said. What you really wouldn't mind a millionaire. You don't like ballers, they don't do nothing for ya. What you'd love a rich man 6'2" or taller. You're more than a fan, looking for a man. What you end up with one night stand. He could be your whole life if you got past one night, but that part never goes right. In the morning you're back, he's on to the next, and you didn't even get no text. Don't be too upset if they call you a scared, 'cause like You should have known from the jump that you always get dumped. So dust off your with me pump.
Yeah, that's Amy Winehouse, the Milo remix of Fuck Me Pumps.
Amazing.
Now, a lot of you love the music on Portobello Radio and are asking, when can we see the Portobello Radio Roadshow?
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Well, we've got a roadshow coming up on the 25th of March.
Oh, where's that?
That will be at the Tabernacle, which is going to be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's going to be on the Saturday.
And that is the final weekend of the month. So you will, I mean, obviously, everyone's out and all our DJs are so busy, they won't, the regular crowd won't all be able to be there. But we will definitely have Foreign Office there.
Yes, we certainly will. Live in the house, going to be wonderful. Maybe Debbie Galt is going to be the one who's going to entertain us down
Debbie
there.
Galt herself. We're going to
Amazing.
have Disco 45 doing a rare live event.
Mental, absolutely mental. Jason Nixon in the house. He's brilliant, absolutely superb, especially when he plays live.
There are other names floating about: Pandiva, Derek DeLarge, Monoloco Mixtape, but I think you'll find that Greg and I both play.
Oh, yeah, wicked.
Because
Nice.
we've got to get our shit together, Gregsy, because we've also got another residency coming up starting the 31st of March.
Is it the 31st of March, that
Well,
one?
at the Quiet Night
At the
Inn.
Quiet Night Inn, wow,
On the-
man.
we better not stay up too late. It's the eve of the next bus trip on April the 1st.
Oh, blimey. Oh, blimey.
There's a lot going on.
There's a
mate.
lot going on, yes, man. So April the 1st, bus trip, 31st of March at the Quiet Night Inn, which used to be called the Metropolitan, just outside Westbourne Park Tube. We're going to be there fortnightly, I believe. That's the gig.
7:30 to 11:30.
Yeah, man, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to be knackered.
Yeah, I mean, there will be, a lot of the time, it will be Greg and or me.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully
as
we get
time
some,
goes by, you know,
some
you'll
guest
have all
DJs involved. Yeah,
sorts
man.
of-
Yeah, it's going to be mental. It's going to be really, really mental. No, love it. Absolutely love it. So, yeah, lots of live events coming up on the Portobello Radio platform. And seeing as we have some extra premises on the team, maybe we can get some more programming in and we'll be able to entertain you with more shows throughout the week.
Anyway.
Remember that we are publicly funded. We are a little bit like the BBC, but not nearly as brilliant, in the fact that we really only sell T-shirts. That's our only form of capitalist
No, actually,
venture.
you can now pay £3 or more to subscribe to our Mixcloud channel if you wish.
Oh, wow, you've done that, have you? Wicked, absolutely wicked. So there you go, that's another one. Patreon is another one. Look us up on Patreon and make a little donation there if you like, or just bung us some money.
Yeah, just pass by the Muse any Friday between 4 and 6 and throw some cash through the door.
That'd be mental. That'd be just so mental. Yes, man.
Did we
absolutely
mention it was St. Patrick's Day?
Yes. I think we did. We always do.
Did we mention the Pogues are Irish?
Oh, London Irish. Brilliant.
London Irish.
I like to walk in the summer breeze, down Darling Road by the dead old tree. I drink with my friends, the Hammersmith Broadway, the dirty, delightful old drunken old days. And the winter came down and I loved it so dearly. The pubs and the bookies where you'd spend all your time. And the old man that was singing when the roses bloom again and turn like the leaves to a new summertime. Now the
Yeah, that of course is the Pogue, the dark streets of London, and we're delighted that our last guest of the day has managed to arrive in the nick of time. She's rushed from work. It's Georgia Lupita of the Hydration Hour.
Whee! Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Welcome aboard.
Oh.
Try that.
No, I think
Try that. No, go on, have a go now.
Yeah, Greg hadn't turned you up. Yeah.
Ah. Is it? No, it isn't. No. Try turning it on again.
How about this one? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is
Nice.
live radio. This
It's
just,
all right.
just
This-
talking. That
It's
one.
just on.
Yay! There she
That
is.
one's off.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Hello,
Georgia,
everyone.
thank you from rushing.
Yeah,
I'm so
man.
sorry.
Brilliant.
That's all right.
I was
Absolutely
going to be here
brilliant.
at 5. I was actually going to be here earlier, but
Aw.
yeah, it
Just didn't
happen.
work out the way you hoped.
I've gone from Peckham to Ladbroke Grove. so-
Amazing. Wow, what a result.
Yeah.
Now, Georgia, we invited you on because it's International Women's Month, and
Yeah.
you're one of the things we're most proud of because we think you're kind of a homegrown DJ.
Oh, definitely.
You
yeah.
weren't really a DJ, and then you said, "Oh, I'll try," and we gave you like 2 bits of advice, and suddenly you do the most brilliantly produced show every month, last Saturday of the month at
Yep.
2:00, the Hydration Hour. How
Yeah.
did you suddenly become such a good DJ?
I don't really know, but I do remember peers you teaching me how to do the sliders and
Yeah.
whatnot. And
I was there on page 1.
yeah, and you asking me why I chose Hydration Hour as the name. But I think I've always loved music. I've grown up with music always playing. There's always music playing in my parents' house, always. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is, always music playing.
What a good upbringing.
Yeah, like absolutely fantastic. And I remember back in the day when I would go to, I remember being at a house party and I was mixing with YouTube. So I had 2 files open, and I can't remember
I'm
what
not
songs
sure I
it
could
was.
do that.
And I wasn't even thinking about it, and I dropped a song in with another song, and my friend was like, "Georgia, how did you just do that?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Oh." She was like, "You should go to Fabric and you should DJ," and I never got around to doing it.
No,
But
but you're still spot on.
and I think, like, I can't clap in time. I cannot clap in time. Like, it's unbelievable. If you
You got no rhythm.
apparently I've got
Is that
no
the
rhythm.
guilty feet?
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. So my friends notoriously kind of laugh at me if we're at a gig or something and we're asked to clap in time, because I have to really concentrate to be able to do it. But then with DJing, you have to be able to keep time. And for some reason, when I'm listening to the music, I think because I'm listening, I can just put it in.
You still couldn't clap even though while you were mixing.
No, I don't clap. I think I've just got an aversion to clapping, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I shouldn't, because
So-
we're meant to clap for the NHS, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But you called it Hydration Hour.
Yes.
And every time I put your shows up on Mixcloud, ladies and gentlemen, you can find Georgia's shows on
Yeah,
Mixcloud
please listen.
Portobello Radio. But I end up putting something like Balearic or Eclectic because you have music which crosses all the genres and times, but at
Yeah.
the same time seems to have the same vibe.
Yeah. I guess that goes with like the music that I like.
And you were brought up with?
Yes and no. So we always used to go to WOMAD, which back
quite
when it was
trendy.
but it was when it was back at the Reading site, because so my grandparents lived around the corner, so we were quite cheeky. We would go and stay there and then go to the festival. And I think we used to get like discounted tickets because of that. I'm not sure. But so that would be where the kind of world-ish music comes from, and my love for that. But so I remember going to WOMAD and seeing this band called Ojos de Brujo, which I don't think I've actually ever played on Hydration Hour. And they just blew my mind away. They were like electronic flamenco mix fusion. Not COVID.
Not COVID
and
people.
I've
You
always
can't
loved
catch
dancing.
COVID off the radio, actually.
Oh yeah, you never know. I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on what the local papers have to say.
Oh, I don't know. Let's not trust any of the local. Well, the local papers are all right, aren't they?
Always all right.
And I think because I love dancing, and music comes with dancing, then that's where my music complete interest has come from. I'm just trying to think.
Well, you don't.
I guess like quite a lot of my shows, yeah, they do have the same vibe, don't they? But
Yeah.
they are always quite different.
They are. Anyway, Georgia, we can hear your shows the last Saturday and Sunday of every month.
Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because it's International Women's Month, is that you've just done a master's
Yes.
while you were doing a job. Tell us about that, because that's another thing I couldn't do.
Well, so I'm not quite sure how I did it, because I'm now working full time again.
And where are you working?
I was working, so I work as a community nurse, and I go and I see children in their homes and do various different things. And it's actually a great job because I get to drive around and listen to music all day, so, you know, which is another thing. And I tune in and out of different radios because I love doing that kind of thing. But at the time when I was doing the Masters, I was also working full time and doing it. And then I went to working part-time because I couldn't really handle it. And then I quite enjoyed working part-time for a bit. And now I've gone back to working full-time and I've got no idea how I did a master's on top of working full-time. Like, I have no idea how I did it. So, to be honest, I'm pretty proud of myself for doing it and for
I bet
finishing.
you are. I bet you are.
And I focused my dissertation on radio and internet radio, so... because I
easy.
love it so much.
Low-hanging fruit,
Yeah.
darling.
And you guys have inspired me so much with my love, I guess, for radio, but more internet radio and all of the niche ones. Like,
Getting
but
our
it
niche,
does mean
people.
that I
Drop
learnt
into
all
our
the
niche.
history of Radio 1 and KISS and everything like that.
Ah,
which
interesting.
was-
And of course, Dread
yeah,
Broadcast.
Yes, yeah, and all that. And went into the whole history of DBC and all of that.
Brilliant.
Which was great
We
fun to
celebrated
read
the
about.
anniversary of Lepke on Tuesday this week.
Oh,
I think it
really?
was.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
2018 he left us.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
he
our
did.
mentor.
And he used to come
Our kind of
to
bad
the-
news bear mentor when we were down there at the KPH.
Ah.
Yeah, he used to come and sweep the floors of the KPH
Yeah.
and leave
Yeah, he
his
was lovely.
vinyl.
Yes.
He
Yes.
would always insist, and we'd be like, "What are you doing here? You don't need
Yeah.
to clean. It's fine."
Oh,
But
so sweet.
I mean, on a slightly serious point, we were talking to Moira
Yes.
about the way that women kind of get dumped with doing all the stuff. And as a result, although we don't appreciate it, women are probably better at organising their own time, other people's time. Is that fair to say? Or is that just another male chauvinist cop-out?
Maybe I come in waves and forms with my organisation skills. I can be really organised over one thing and then completely disorganised over something else. Like, the whole reason why I finished late at work today is because my time management today was just awful. So, like, but then I can, like, plan and organise things quite well. So, I don't know, like, I think you have to be quite decisive with things. And when you realise that you're getting kind of put down, it's easier to be like, to be decisive. And I've learnt in the past, if you make a decision, it's probably better to stick to it, even if it is maybe the wrong decision. Just because if you keep on changing your mind, you kind of get nowhere.
You get nowhere slowly.
Yeah.
At least if you're going to
Which
get
you
nowhere,
don't.
get there fast.
Well, yeah. What's the other phrase? Less haste, more speed.
Yeah. Georgia, thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming to talk to us. Thank you for rushing, even though
I'm
you
so
got
sorry,
held
I'm
back
so
at
late.
work. We can't wait for your next show.
Yeah, man.
I'm
When,
gonna
do,
try
do you know when
and
it
Are
is?
you doing live next week?
Next Saturday, and you're playing.
Can I send?
Oh, wow,
Well,
are you
I'm
playing?
in Thailand next week, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I won't be able to come live, but I can send you a thing.
Send us a mix.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Brilliant.
Thank you for
yeah.
being with us.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
having
being
me.
on our station.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you
not
for the
sure
music,
if I
though.
have heard you play this tune, but I'm going to play out with it because
Ooh.
it reminds me of you.
Oh, Brill.
Tune in tomorrow's Saturday sessions.
Here we
It's
go.
the third weekend, which means the evening is is Nice House.
Nice House on Portobello.
Oh,
You get
cool.
Sam Richardson, you get Tal, you get PJ.
Yeah.
It is some of the best house around.
Indeed, we're going to rerun an old Reggae Got Soul show with Darren Bennett and that bloke from EastEnders. We're going to possibly get a Dave Hucker in, not too sure. We might get an extra Pandiva in, who knows.
Well, we got Miss Walcott's
and-
Detention coming.
And possibly something with a bit of an Irish theme as
yeah,
well.
that's
So
a good
it's
idea, isn't it?
very, very good indeed.
Noel Watson will be rewinding his St Patrick's show from actually 4 years ago. Some of the best contemporary Irish music, though obviously not as
Yeah,
contemporary,
contemporary
as it was
yeah.
4 years ago.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening.
Wonderful.
This is Israel Kamakawi Ole.
Nice, absolutely lovely. Oh, tune. Lovely, lovely tune. And remember, Talk Radio on Sunday morning with Bright Side of the Road, our wonderful
At midday
show.
and this at 10.
And this one at 10 o'clock. Take care. Have a lovely weekend.
Ooh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Oh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
I love Portobello Radio.